illusion of something. Even when he's hurt, he makes you think he's not hurt, and that's the sign of a professional.
Quick hands, we have very quick hands.
Very accurate. Dynamite, and it's unbelievable.
Well, he made 25 successful title defenses, which is going some, isn't it? Particularly as there are a lot of good fighters around in those. I mean, people talk about the bum of the month club because he knocked so many people over quickly. I don't think they were bums particularly. I just think Lewis was a very good champion who could get rid of people quickly.
Well, can I tell you something? If any of the fighters nowadays was around when Lewis was fighting, the good top fighters, even in the 60s, the Joe Frazier's, the Muhammad Ali, if they were around then they would be considered bums too. And I know no one considered them bums.
That's right.
Scaff is on the run. Blood is pouring down from the nose of Sammy Scaff.
Tyson does not throw wild punches, Sam. That's
big left hook. And there is Scaff down. 3, 4. The count is 5.
For the rest of the year.
6. The count is 7. This one's over. 9. This one is over.
Now, we had a man, Mike, called Tommy Farr, came from Wales, who certainly wasn't a bum. And here he is, giving Joe Lewis his first title defense in New York, 1937. And this is the 15th round, and Tommy's still there, being no knockdowns. So, not a bad performance.
No, not whatsoever, because at this time, as you know, Tommy Farr is way experienced fighter. He's so much more experienced than Joe Lewis. Even though Joe's the champion, he's been around longer. He's a much experienced fighter. He fought world-class fighters from America and all over the world. And he's given Joe Lewis problems, you know what I mean? And everybody took him lightly, you know. They thought Joe Lewis was going to just walk over him, and he was up for the fight. You know, emotional, physically, he was up for the fight. And he went in there to win. He was a clever fighter, and he gave Joe Lewis problems.
Have you seen Farr before on film?
I just seen him for this fight.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like, you know, this was Joe Lewis' first title defense. I'm sure he was a little leery. You know, he's probably still going through the stage that he's the champion of the world. And it's really difficult to believe at that particular time.
He was the sort of boxer, Tommy, who could give anybody a fight, go the distance with anybody. Little bit of a spoiler. He could make people look bad if he wanted to. There's a lot of good left-hand work going on in this, which is something you don't often see in these old heavyweight championship fights.
And he's not running. He's right there fighting with him. He's very clever. He's in range to get hit, but he's very elusive, and he's moving. People nowadays probably say he's a spoiler, he was running. It's just like nowadays they would run. Now this is what you call boxing, what Mr. Fogg is doing. He's coming forward, he's jabbing, he's not going backwards. He's making a fight, because back in these days, if a gentleman were to run and stink the place out, he perhaps wouldn't get paid.
Yes, he's not a bone crusher, that's for sure.
Oh, tell me about it.
You've often said that you are the youngest ever champion. You've often said you want to be the oldest as well. So, I mean, do you really think that you could reign as champion for 17 years? That's something not even Joe Lewis did.
True. Maybe, but you never know. He lost interest at that particular time. But even though Joe Lewis was just so much ahead of the time, even with the interest that he lost, he was still able to prevail over top-notch fighters like Billy Conn, which is one of my greatest fighters, Billy Conn. I love him so dearly. And to see that fight, I go home every day just to put in that fight. Like if I'm depressed or something, I put in that fight, and it makes my day.
In round 13, Lewis shoots in 2 blistering rights and a left. He knows he's got to knock Billy out to win this fight. This is one of the greatest heavyweight championship fights in years. Watch Billy come back with a sensational flurry of punches. Desperately trying to finish it right here and now. But the great Brown Bomber has other ideas. Watch him go to work on the light heavyweight champion. Now it's Lewis coming on. This time it's Joe who has Conn groggy. Lewis lands a punishing left-right combination. Conn is trying to last out the round. Watch the final 6 dynamite punches to the head, which finally put Billy down. As the referee pulls off the count, Billy will vainly attempt to rise before the fatal 10, but he doesn't quite make it. In sensational fashion, Joe Lewis successfully defends his World's Heavyweight Championship against the magnificent light heavyweight champion of the world, Billy Conn.
What we're going to look at next, Mike, is Jersey Joe Walcott, who he and Ezzard Charles rather dominated that period after Joe Lewis retired, having been the undefeated champion. And this is the fight where Walcott won the title, 37 years old. And here he is against Ezzard Charles, who was a good fighter. And this is the 7th round, in which Walcott won the title. And this is a stunning knockout, it really is.
I know, but even though Walcott was a very elderly gentleman, he stayed in tremendous physical and mental frame of mind. Just look at his physique. And he's been fighting for years, and he's waited almost like, 11 years for this moment here.
That's right.
And he's very accurate, very calm, and here we come. We're going to run into the punch any moment now.
Walcott in the white trunks, for anybody who doesn't know. 37 years old.
And here we go. Accuracy, timing, everything precise. Unbelievable.
And Charles was himself a pretty good, experienced fighter.
Very underrated, but great fighter. Even though his game is, he wanted to get up, didn't know where he was, but he just wanted to get up and finish like a man. And this is the most jubilous moment of Jersey Joe Walcott's life.
Does it amaze you that a man of 37 can win the World Heavyweight Championship?
Not at all, because I know anything can be done if you want to do it bad enough. It's, it's in the frame of mind and how much desire and discipline is stored. It's just how bad you want to do it. I think anything can be done. I really do. I don't care what it is. I think man can fly if he wants to bad. I think anything he wants to do bad enough he can do. So it's unbelievable how great the human being is.
It's amazing to me that somebody like Walcott, for instance, could sit around all those years and never winning the title and still thinking that he can do it, even at 37.
Well, when you have 5 children and you don't even have a sandwich to eat, it can it can get you to hang around for a while.
Now, Jersey Joe didn't reign too long, Mike. He was only there for a year and a bit, because the following year, Rocky Marciano came along. He's interesting to me because this is the first World Heavyweight Champion that I happened to see as a reporter. And this is Walcott, this is Marciano winning the title against Jersey Joe Walcott. There's Jersey Joe coming out. And this is the 13th round. Look how short Marciano is. He's shorter than you. And you're always regarded as being one of the shorter boys around today, but he was shorter than you.
As you see, that didn't make any difference to him. He's continuing to bore through with a defense which people didn't regard him of, because he really didn't get hit as much as everyone thought he did, because there's really no way that anyone could take the amount of punishment that everybody thought that he was taking. Nobody would continue to box if they thought that he was taking that much punishment. He was game, took a great shot, timed the right hand perfectly, and it was awesome.
That was some punch, wasn't it? If we just go back again there a moment, just one thing I want to show you. Just look at this knockdown again, Mike, because Rocky hits him with a right, and then he hits him one when he's almost down. Now, that's very typical of Marciano, I'm afraid. I always thought of him as being a dirty fighter, a good fighter, but very dirty. He fought a man of ours called Don Coco, and he thumbed him, he butted him. He hit him again when he was down, like he did with Walcott. So he was a ruthless man inside the ring, and yet when you met him outside, he was the perfect gentleman.
Well, in this case, you're not in there to dance. The name of the game is fighting, and you're in there to win.
Tyson comes out slugging. He comes out smoking like Marvis's father, Joe. Marvis must move, or we're going to be out of here very, very quickly. Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt.
Razor is down. Joe Cortez moves in to have a look, and he's going to stop the fight. It did not last 20 seconds.
You're risking your health, and when you're in that kind of situation, anything goes within the rules. But myself, I believe you should always fight within the rules.
You wouldn't deliberately hit a man who's down, would you?
No, not at all.
But some of these lads do, you see. They do. I mean, Rocky did. Whether it was enthusiasm and he couldn't hold it back, I don't know. But he
perhaps it was. But, some people, I'm not saying Rocky, but some people are, even though they're great, they really don't know because they're not objective, and they really don't know how great they are, and they have a little bit of a little lack of confidence, and they really don't know. And they want to hit the guy and get him out as quick as possible. I'm sure if Walcott would have got up from that shot, which I doubt seriously, the punch he hit him with, the last punch on the left hook, he was dead anyway after the right hand. So there was no way that he was going to get up.
You're absolutely right about Rocky not taking as much as people thought, because Charlie Goldman, who was his trainer, taught him a quite useful cross-arm defense.
From what I know, Charlie Goldman was a masterful boxer and had around 300 fights as a professional. When he fighting from Russia, I think it was.
Originally